July 11th. This is how I'm going to start every video from now on. It's July 11th, 3 a.m. This is day 13, I think, of my diaries. I did very, 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 very little today. For the game, anyway. I got caught up in, I don't even know, what did I get caught up in? I had some guy email me earlier in the day asking about some, what I think looks like AI voiceover software, so I was doing it back and forth with him for a bit, and then I don't know where the rest of the day went. I did some marketing stuff. I posted a couple videos. I did that too. And then oh yeah, I was gonna look a little bit at, actually maybe I'm gonna check that quickly now. But I was gonna look a little bit at the collision for some of the enemies, because there is a little bit of a feeling in the game of sometimes, I guess, feeling like you should have hit someone when you didn't. I mean, it's accurate. It's technically always correct, but it could maybe be made to be a little bit more generous. So I'm gonna look at that in a second. Maybe I'll just do it tomorrow. Yeah, so I'm pretty tired. Another thing, a few other things have popped up. See, here is where I got a little carried away. I think I saw the video of Trump saying that he was talking to the president of Liberia, and I guess Liberia speaks English naturally, and Trump was like, "Wow, you speak such beautiful English. Where did you learn English?" That guy's too funny. So, Trump reminds me of, I don't really even know how to describe it exactly, but he's like this particular kind of boomer. It's like, it reminds me of my parents and a lot of people in their generation, even though Trump's a good couple decades older than them even. But they have this weird, like, yeah, I don't know, this funny way of interacting with other cultures, this almost like naive fascination. Just, I don't know how else to describe it. This goofy kind of naivety about things sometimes in the world like that. It's just funny seeing Trump express that like that, They're like, "Wow, you speak such beautiful English." Which, to be fair, I feel like most people probably have never even heard of Liberia, and I certainly didn't know that they speak English there, but you'd think that someone would have briefed the president of the United States on the on the nature of the countries he's interacting with. Anyway, and I guess that set me off on a detour mentally, where I started researching about African countries. So yeah, because I read about Liberia and I was kind of curious about the deal with that country was, because apparently they have some interesting history with the United States and taking on slaves from the US back in the day when they were freed, I think. So kind of an interesting history there. Anyway, so then I start reading about other African countries in general, and it piques my curiosity, and I end up going down the Wikipedia rabbit hole, right? And this idea occurred to me of just, how crazy would it be if I just moved to some random African country? Because countries like that often have extremely low costs of living, right? So it's like, I could just take my money and probably go live there for like, I don't know, a long time. And then I was thinking, how crazy would it be, especially if you picked a country that was in the middle of a civil war, or just, I don't know, like you go and live in some crazy country like that where you get to experience insane things, and maybe you come back you become one of those guys where you just have all these like insane, unbelievable stories of shit you went through. So I went on ChatGPT and I actually asked it, what are the most dangerous countries in the world? Like, where could I go where I'd be really likely to get robbed or kidnapped or something like that? And at first, ChatGPT was concerned and asking me, am I seeking to self-harm? Sometimes people think about things when they're feeling numb or depressed. But I said, no, I'm not feeling numb or depressed. I'm fine. I just want to know, what is the number one country to live in if I want to get myself into the most badass, crazy circumstances possible. And it was pretty funny because ChatGPT all of a sudden did a 180 and just started getting really into it with me and was like, you know what you want to do? You want to move to Haiti. And it starts listing all these crazy things about living in Haiti. The funniest to me was with kidnappings. Both locals and foreigners are abducted regularly, sometimes for ransom, sometimes just because. And it was like, it's not the classic ChatGPT way of writing to. It's not just dangerous, it's cinematically dangerous. And then at the end here, it was like, you want a backup option that's more mercenary survival than Collapse Core? I can name a few. So I was having a good laugh at that. So yeah, there's where a little bit of my day went, asking ChatGPT stupid questions. And then just now, towards the end, I saw something that really kind of got under my skin. I was on Twitter/X, and I come across a thread, and here's the thread, I'm looking it up here, from Japan. And not just this thread, but then I saw a few others about this exact same thing, that apparently in this upcoming samurai game, Ghost of Yotei has partnered with Samurai Champloo director Shinichiro Watanabe. So they're adding a lo-fi beats mode, and it's the guy who is like the director for Samurai Champloo. And I see that this got like 15,000 likes and all these shares and everything, and everyone in the comments section is like talking about Nujabes and Samurai Champloo and everything. And I saw multiple threads like this, and it was just this reminder, there's this borderline stab in my heart that there is this whole huge audience out there that I know exists, that this was my whole like marketing plan, that's clearly fiending something like this. They're even talking about how they want a Samurai Champloo style game or whatever, and I'm sitting here like, why do I have such a hard time reaching these people? You know, like, this audience is clearly huge, and if I could just somehow, I don't know, is it something about what I'm doing? Do algorithms on every one of these websites just absolutely hates me? I don't get it, man. I made a TikTok about that too. I don't know. And now my TikToks that I've been making in the past few days got like a few hundred views each. Nothing. Total garbage. Ever since I started posting on there regularly. Which, I don't know, maybe that's a normal thing, but I don't get it, man. I don't, it all feels very random to me. I really am not grasping why some things work and some things don't, but I will not lose faith. Still though, it can be very discouraging just seeing something like this, especially where it's almost worse than if I were to just post things and never get any kind of attention at all. It's almost worse that instead I can see the audience that's supposed to be there for me, and it's like just out of reach, just out of grasp, that for some reason I'm just never ever getting any kind of like really good traction, despite putting so much effort into it. So anyway, not that I'm gonna give up or anything, I'm gonna keep going. On the contrary, I'm doubling down. I've been pumping out more content since I started doing this basically, than I have perhaps in the whole time I've been working on the game. So I'm gonna keep it up, and fuck it, whatever happens, right? At the very least, at the end of it all, I can say, look, I literally made like 300 videos. I made 300 videos, I never gave up, I posted every day. And then for anyone out there, and then when I release my game, it'll be kind of interesting, because then if not much ends up coming of it, I can kind of go out publicly and be like, hey, yeah, see, all these people who talk about it, like, if you just try every day, if you follow your dreams or whatever, you'll make it. I'll be like, yeah, I was the most consistent, persistent person you could possibly imagine working on my game, and it fucking went nowhere. Now, this is the thing. This is the emotional journey of doing something like this, because I'm not actually that cynical. I go through moods like this. One day you see something like this, and then you feel like shit, and then the next day, I don't know, I'll see something else that makes me feel better, and then I'm riding a new high, and I don't know, you go back and forth. But and it's probably mixed in together also with various habits from your life too, right? Like when you're not sleeping very well, maybe maybe that affects you a bit. Um, so yeah, I was gonna look at. I'm actually gonna, maybe you'll join me here right now. I was just gonna quickly before I call it for the night. I was gonna take a look at what I was talking about. See, I took a video. Did I save the video? I hope I saved the video. I did not save the video. Or did I? I did. Okay, hold on. Join me here. See, I took a video of myself playing the game and intentionally trying to get myself like really close to the enemy without actually killing him. Because I just kind of wanted to see like how close does it get that it feels sort of, I don't know, I guess unfair. Like, oh, should I have hit that guy? Shouldn't I? So technically right here, this was the last moment where I could have hit him. And you can see he's like just outside on the edge. So this one's kind of fair, it makes sense. But you can also kind of see how when the game's going so fast, how this could easily lead you to think that like, oh, I don't know, it seems like maybe I should have killed him there. Now maybe I'll make it a little more generous. And you can see here also, I don't know, he's pretty clearly in the circle here, so that one hits. And yeah, that's a clear miss, okay? But there's another one that was kind of like, okay, that one's a miss. And yeah, like, okay, this one's a fair miss. Okay, so here though, you can see here, this one's kind of on the edge. I mean, you can see him running into you and into your, like the path of your attack. So it makes sense that he gets hit, but here it's kind of similar, right? It's like just barely different. He's sort of, because here he's not running into the circle or into your path of attack necessarily, and you miss him, but it's, I don't know. I could see, again, this is another example of how I can see how you're playing the game and this happens to you and you're kind of like, I don't know, should I have hit him there? I can't tell. Did I screw up? Was it the game? So, I don't know. I was going to look at, because of that, I was just going to see, like, I don't know, what does their collision look like exactly? Because I don't remember. I made it pretty tight because, I do want precision to be a big part of the game. So maybe I could just make it a little bit more generous, or see. Right, so there it is. I don't know, it's kind of fair. You can look at, maybe it looks kind of different when he's running or something. No, I don't know, it's pretty consistent. His sword is maybe slightly sticking out, so you can kind of see. And his transition. Yeah, so his sword kind of sticks out. Oh, okay. Yeah, you can kind of see the arm sticks out here. So this is probably why that part is. So you can see how you'd be really close to the arm and that could make you think that he should have been hit. I wonder if in the video there, if that was kind of what's happening. Not really, because this is the arm that's pulling the sword out is the one that's in the wrong spot. If I were to rotate this guy, oops. So he's kind of like that. And so the circle ends really like right there. I don't even know, is that the right one? No, I think it's that. Or his arm's more visible. Either way though, it does kind of feel like, yeah, like this feels a little bit like maybe he should hit him. I might need to say, I don't know. I think I should probably look into this. It does seem like there might be some consistency issue there, maybe. It should be very accurate. I mean, I coded it that way, but I don't know. I'm gonna quickly see. Just gonna do one more quick test here. You can follow along with me. I had a topic also that I was gonna cover today, but I think I'm gonna save that for tomorrow. Let's see. You get to see a little bit of my code here. This is a true sneak preview. So I have a class that all the melee attackers use. It's called the fighter actions, melee fighter actions. Hold on. Let's see, melee fighter actions class, okay. And then I think I have a, yes, okay, so I have some debug code here to draw the lines to show the actual range of my attack. Let's see what that looks like. And I'm gonna record this video so I can slow it down again. Okay, now I need to turn the debug stuff on. Okay, so you can see it does seem to be accurate with regards to the size of the circle. Right, it seems about right, yeah. Okay. I'm gonna do this a few times just to kind of test it out. Hold on, one more time up here. I want to recreate that miss that I had that one time. Yeah, there you go. Okay. So now let's see what happens there exactly. Okay. Let's go to the very end of this. Oh shit. It's got the lines from the last dash already there. Okay, but it looks like yeah, okay, so you can see that it creates like a second set of lines. So the lines are basically, it's just identical to the last one. Okay. So when he's here, this line's kind of here, and yeah, like this might be like right on the edge of that circle, I think. And then when he's here, same deal. Like there's probably, it's probably like he's probably behind the dashing range now. Or he's even finished the dash at this point. So yeah, it seems like it's probably right on the edge of the guy. Actually, I should, hold on, I have a better idea. Even better idea. Should have done this the first time around. I'm gonna see his actual. See his collision. Yeah, okay. Right, so they have a capsule collider actually on them, I think. 3D collision. Oh, am I recording? I don't think I am. There you go. Okay, so that's one to kind of notice. And then, no. Gotta get this just right. Okay, that's probably good. It's kind of weird because it feels both generous and also kind of strict at certain points. Okay, so you can see the line being drawn here this time. Okay, so you can see that, yeah, like he misses. Like, literally just barely. Just fucking barely. So yeah, so I could just make this a little bit more a little more precise. Or not precise, but a little more generous, like make their circles a bit bigger. But it's at least definitive proof that my game is not inconsistent, as somebody has complained about. It's just very, very precise. What was the, I want to see the miss that happened here. Yeah, it was this one. Okay, so you can't see the circle, but you can see how he totally misses this one here. But again, I can see how, like, to a player though, you might, like, with the game going so fast, you might see this and like you're so close to him and you think like, I don't know, maybe I should have hit him there. Yeah, it's just a very, very precision-based game, dude. I don't know what to tell people. And here, yeah, here you can see how he clearly gets hit. He's about to run right into that line, which then crosses him into the area, and so he gets hit. But those near misses, I think, is just... And here as well, you can see why he gets hit. I mean, he's very blatantly crossing into the area, right? But you can see how you can see how here it's like just barely misses, and you can totally see how you might think like, oh, I should have hit him. Or I'm gonna do one last test. Specifically about if a guy is standing right in front of you. Let's do it on this guy. It's gonna be a little tricky to pull off. No. Gotta aim this mouse cursor perfectly. Let's wait for these lines to decay. Okay. Maybe something like this. Oh no, that was too fast. Okay. Maybe. Now this one's a little trickier to see because I don't actually have, you can't actually see the radius of like how far in front I go. I guess you can a little bit. But again, yeah, this one, it's pretty obvious. But you can once again see how like, if I had aimed, if I had gone like up to, yeah, you can see how I could have been all the way up to like here. If it's about this length ahead, I could end up, yeah, like I could land like right here, really close to him, and technically it doesn't count as a kill. Let's see. It's very hard to pull off though, because he moves fast too. Gotta land maybe like a little bit before. Damn it. Bro. I'm too good. I'm too good at my own game. I can't. Okay, not the table. Land like here. I have to. Okay, just a little bit earlier. Okay, well, I guess that's about as well as I can do. I mean, I don't know. See, like playing it there, it's pretty generous. Like, you really gotta miss. Again, I can see how if you're not very good at the game, this happens so quickly that it looks to you like, yeah, like you look at this, it happens so fast. It's like only a few frames in between that you're like, oh, I should have hit him there. But you look at it from this perspective and it's like, okay, you clearly misclicked, right? This dude is, there's a lot of distance between where you clicked and where this guy is. But the game is just so fast, and then when this guy moves forward and with you moving ahead, when you finally land, could easily feel like, oh, I should have killed him there. And you can see here how you can see how the horizontal line across the two lines, like it does not cross with the guy, right? So yeah, I don't know. Well, actually, you know what? Oh, wait, there is. Hold on a second. I think this is just because. Yeah, okay. So the door dashing has a bigger line to it because I made that more generous. Okay, so maybe one thing that I could actually improve here is now that I look at it, that line is very tight around the circle on the left and right side. In fact, it's actually slightly, I think because of the thickness of that circle, it's actually slightly inside of the circle. So it really is very tight. So I think maybe what I should do here is just increase your side reach a bit. Because there's actually two different ranges in the code. There's a forward and a side, and your forward is a little bit generous. You can see how it sticks out ahead of the circle a little bit. Like up here, see, it's always a little in front, but on the side, that is really tight. And so similarly, in that first video, where it looks really tight, yeah, it's so tight because of how tight it is around your circle compared to the front. Okay, so yeah, I should probably just expand the range of the player's attack a bit. I think the size of their colliders seems like reasonably fair. I think if I just expand his distance a little bit, that should be okay. All right. Anyway, a big part of why I was so interested in looking at that is because of the one negative review of the game that mentions the inconsistency about that, which I already knew what he was talking about, and that it has to do with just that feeling that it demands so much precision, and the margins can be so thin, and the game is so fast that you can easily end up in situations like that where it feels like maybe you should have hit that guy, and then you can't tell, did I make a mistake there or was it the game? I had a few people say that. Still don't feel like that would really make any major difference to whether or not someone would really like the game. But yeah, might be worth expanding it just a little bit more to make it feel more fair. For all the noobs out there who can't handle the high precision, fine. It is what it is. Yeah. Probably gonna eat one more quick meal and then hit the hay. I got nothing else to say. See you tomorrow.